Just because she bargained over a penny for groceries, the daughter blamed her mother for embarrassing her, not realizing that the money she saved was being saved by her mother. When she saw her mother at the parent-teacher conference, Ellie kicked her out with a complaint about her old-fashioned clothes. If her mother hadn't insisted on her going to school, her father would never have agreed. Ellie didn't want to stay in her poor home. When she saw her daughter's acceptance letter from the university, her mother was as happy as if she had gotten into college herself. But Ellie was happy to be free from her family's constraints. Often, it's our parents who are most worried about us when we go away for the first time. Her mother repeatedly told her to take good care of the important things in her bag and was afraid that her father would find out. And her father, always aloof, gave her a new cell phone. Ellie didn't seem too upset but relieved to be out of the woods. She opened the duffel bag in the car. It turned out that what her mother said was important was a letter and a can of money saved for several years to buy groceries, although the amount was not much. But every bit of it was full of her mother's love. Ellie read it with mixed feelings. After graduating from college, the girl became a kindergarten teacher. The moment she opened her textbook, she turned a new page in her life. Her boyfriend added a diamond ring to the textbook, and that's how they got engaged. But when it came time to meet the parents, Ellie's parents did not show up. This makes the man's parents wait a little impatient and also makes Ellie very humiliated. But when they thought they were dressed up for the occasion, Ellie still thought they were old-fashioned. In her eyes, her parents had never earned her respect. The man's mother wouldn't even get up to shake his hand. The embarrassment of seeing her mother's cheeky approach made her want to crawl into a hole in the ground. The first time they met, they were supposed to praise each other's children, but the future mother-in-law had no problem pointing out that the girl was cunning and scheming, and that she thought the poor girl was trying to climb the ladder to marry her son in the city. It's a very awkward moment. Ellie blamed her parents for not providing her with a good background, which not only made her look bad at school, but also affected her marital happiness. In order to fulfill her daughter's happiness, the mother went to the man's house all night in the rain, putting aside her pride and begging for forgiveness, hoping that she would accept her daughter for the sake of being a mother. But the man was not moved by her pleas. Since she had become a burden to her daughter, she preferred to sever the mother-daughter relationship. She had no choice but to leave, even though she didn't want to. But can a marriage be happy if she has to settle for less? Her mother-in-law asked her to become a full-time wife after giving birth, but she didn't want to give up the job she loved. Luckily, her husband was there to resolve the conflict. Ellie couldn't understand why her mother never came to visit after she got married, until the day she got a phone call from her mother telling her to come back to the village because her father had passed away. A married daughter never even got to see her father for the last time. She wished her father had shown her the same unreserved fatherly love he had shown her before the day of her father's funeral. Ellie said she had to go back for a maternity checkup. When she heard that her daughter was pregnant, her mother didn't force her to stay the night. Soon after the baby was born, she was so excited to be a new mom. Unfortunately, the baby didn't survive. She lost it before she could hold it. She was devastated. Perhaps the best way to heal was to go home. When her mother saw she was alone, she wondered if she was having a bad time at her in-laws. Ellie said she was just homesick, but when she went to the restaurant and saw that Ellie had refused to answer her husband's phone calls, her mother was a little worried about her situation. She thought Ellie was just upset about the loss of her child, until the mother received another call from her husband. She realized that her daughter had come back to see her for the last time because Ellie is terminal pancreatic cancer. The husband held back tears on the phone. He hated himself for not taking care of his wife. The sudden shock made her mother almost fall down. At that moment, Ellie saw her mother's diary. In addition to writing her thoughts and hopes for her, she also realized that her mother had begged her mother-in-law for her marriage. That's why her mother never visited her. After learning the truth, she cried uncontrollably. She regretted that she shouldn't have rejected her mother. Now she just wants to be with her mother at the end of her life. But her mother wanted to send her back to her in-laws. She wanted to go back to her mother-in-law's house because she could only get treatment there. As she packed her daughter's belongings, she blamed herself for not being able to help her more. Ellie was forced onto the train by her mother. She knew it was her last chance with her mother. The train started slowly, taking her mother with it. She watched her mother hobbling after the train, trying to see her daughter one more time. Ellie burst into tears. She wanted to stay by her mother's side,